McGreevy shocker, a very personal public confession forces the New Jersey governor to resign.
Where is this man, Al Sadr, and what is his fate? The latest on the fighting in Najaf.
And Charlie's coming first to Florida, then he's headed our way. These stories and more making news today in New York. Good morning, everyone. 6 a.m. on a Friday morning. Welcome. I'm Darlene Rodriguez.
Good morning to you. I'm Rob Morrison. We'll have much more on Governor McGreevy's announcement in just a moment. But as we mentioned, Hurricane Charlie bearing down on Florida right now.
And then we also have Bonnie, too. That's on the mid-Atlantic coast. So very heavy rain is moving up. Let's check it out right now. Light rain in the city. It's 74 degrees right now. The roads are slick here and there. Let's check out what's going on right now. Temperature-wise, basically in the 70s. That's not the problem. Problem is to the south of New York right now, along the Virginia. See it lighting up. That is the remnants of Tropical Storm Bonnie. That will get here late this morning, early this afternoon. 1 to 3, as much as 4 inches of rain from that system. And then we have to deal with Charlie, and that happens by Saturday night into Sunday. This is what you could expect. Heavy storms, possibility of damaging wind, and then the second storm by Saturday night into Sunday. Full details on the 5-day coming up in a little bit.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. We, of course, begin with the stunning announcement from Trenton. New Jersey Governor Jim McGreevy resigning from office after admitting to a gay affair with a former aide. We have live team coverage this morning. Christopher King in Hoboken with reaction from voters. But we begin with details of the announcement and what to expect today. Tim Minton live in Trenton. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Rob. There had been rumors all day yesterday. The media was gathering outside the governor's office, and then signs that something remarkable was coming when a parade of visitors began to arrive. The first to find out for sure were staff and family allowed past troopers barring executive chamber doors. Minutes later, just past 4 p.m., the governor revealed his secrets one by one to the world.
My truth is that I am a gay American, and I am blessed to live in the greatest nation, with a tradition of civil liberties, the greatest tradition of civil liberties in the world, and a country which provides so much to its people. Yet, because of the pain and suffering and anguish that I have caused to my beloved family, my parents, my wife, my friends, I would almost rather have this moment pass.
It was stunning political drama, and as aides watched, it would quickly be topped. With Dina Matos McGreevy by his side, James McGreevy acknowledged his transgressions against her.
I am also here today because shamefully, I engaged in an adult consensual affair with another man, which violates my bonds of matrimony. It was wrong, it was foolish, it was inexcusable.
Critical to the revelations, but unseen publicly, is one-time advisor Golan Sipel. State sources say it's Sipel's allegations of sexual harassment, expected to be detailed in a lawsuit that forced the governor to act.
It makes little difference that as governor, I am gay. In fact, having the ability to truthfully set forth my identity might have enabled me to be more forthright in fulfilling and discharging my constitutional obligations. Given the circumstances surrounding the affair and its likely impact upon my family and my ability to govern, I have decided the right course of action is to resign.
To the head of New Jersey's Black Ministers Council, it was inevitable now, avoidable earlier.
I think his failure to be honest with the citizens of the state some years ago is what brought us to this point today. I think if he had said to the citizens of New Jersey 8 years ago, I'm gay, I think he still could have been elected.
State Senate President Dick Cody, the Democrat who's next in line to replace the Democrat who's leaving, issued a statement that says, "My heart goes out to Jim McGreevy and his family during this difficult personal time." Others at the State House late Thursday were equally gentle.
I witnessed one of the most courageous comments and one of the most courageous statements I've ever seen.
It is a sad day for the people of this state, and I extend my thoughts and prayers to the McGreevy family.
As presumably do those in the governor's inner circle, who after the 6-minute, 17-second speech sent him back to a forever changed private life with applause. It's hard to imagine any wilder revelations today than yesterday, but the reality is that there is an air of uneasy anticipation here in the Capitol, where sources inside the governor's office suggest that they just don't know exactly what might be filed in that lawsuit expected today, either in the Mercer County Courthouse here or the Middlesex County Courthouse in New Brunswick. So they are waiting like everybody else for what comes next.
Tim, the governor says his resignation will be effective November 15th. What's the significance of that date?
The significance is that it means there would be no general election, that instead there would be a succession, one Democrat to another. The state Senate president, Dick Cody, would take over. The early reaction from Republican leaders here in Trenton yesterday was, we're saddened by the chain of events. We wish the governor well, and no real strong murmurs that they took issue with the date. But late yesterday, there was one indication when a senior Republican said that all of the people in that party expect to get together in days ahead to weigh their options, and it is still possible that there'll be some contentiousness about the governor's decision to wait 3 months before actually stepping down.
All right, Tim Minton live in Trenton this morning. Thanks, Tim.
New Jersey residents are just about evenly split on whether they agree with Governor McGreevy's decision to step down. A new WNBC Marist poll finds 41% in favor of McGreevy resigning on November 15th, but 35% say he should not resign, while 9% feel McGreevy should finish out his term but not seek re-election. The poll has a margin of error of plus or minus 5%. Now more reaction from New Jersey voters. Christopher King is at the Path Station in Hoboken. Christopher, good morning.
Good morning, Darlene. It's dominating the headlines. Jim McGreevy quits. And of course, reaction here from New Jersey voters is mixed. Almost everyone is surprised, and it seems like almost everyone in New Jersey is talking about Jim McGreevy's bombshell announcement.
It's a shame that he's resigning. You know, if he's gay, good for him. You know, why should he resign?
Politicians have the same lives that we all have, and everybody's got something going on in their closet, I would guess. So this just came out in public.
You don't see honesty, at least often in politics, and I think it was somewhat refreshing.
In Woodbridge, where Jim McGreevy was mayor before he became governor, the current mayor says McGreevy did the right thing in deciding to step down.
It's probably the best thing that he could do to cause the least amount of confusion and heartache for not only himself and his family, but the entire residents of the entire state of New Jersey.
Across the river, Christine Quinn, an openly lesbian council member in Manhattan, says the governor's speech will trigger debate, which may help reduce homophobia.
When we do that, we're going to make it so much easier for the other Jim McGreevys out there in the world to come out of the closet and get out of the pain and torture they're in.
Other advocates of gay and lesbian causes say that by going public, McGreevy quite simply made history.
Many people come out as gay, few people come out on television as gay, and the governor of New Jersey has never come out on television as gay. It's a pretty unique experience.
Some people applaud McGreevy's honesty, others say he should step down. We are live in Hoboken. Christopher King, Today in New York.
Christopher, thank you. News Channel 4's Brian Thompson broke the McGreevy story yesterday afternoon, and coming up, we'll speak live with Brian, who has new information about Golan Sapel and the possible pending lawsuit against the New Jersey governor. That's coming up at 6:30.
To Iraq now. Fighting has eased in Najaf, the holy city, the site of intense violence over the past couple days. There's also word that radical Shiite cleric Muqtada al-Sadr was hit by shrapnel in the chest and leg. Iraq's interior minister says negotiations are underway for al-Sadr to leave the shrine, where he's believed to be hiding.
In Florida now, hurricane shelters are already open as the Gulf Coast braces for Hurricane Charlie, a day after Tropical Storm Bonnie struck the Panhandle. The storm's then expected to hit land in the Tampa Bay area this afternoon. Overnight, residents gathered their belongings and headed inland following a mandatory evacuation order. More than a half dozen nursing homes and at least 3 hospitals have been evacuated.
Busy morning, obviously. Let's see how things are going out there on the roadways. Shadow Traffic's Trish Yodice has a look. Good morning, Trish.
Hi, Rob. Hi, Darlene. Well, a very serious accident now working on Route 78, Hunterdon County, New Jersey. In fact, eastbound 78 is subject to closure at exit 12 because of this collision, apparently involving a jackknife tractor trailer. So a big mess there. We're being told also most likely there will be an accident investigation to follow. So in the meantime, Route 173 is the alternate route. We'll keep you updated on that. Looking live right now at the Grand Central Parkway, Panasonic Skycam showing you traffic pretty light passing by LaGuardia Airport. But again, a good idea to call ahead. Of course, with the weather expected later on, we could see delays build at the airports. Brooklyn-Queens Expressway northbound slowing down for Friday morning off of the Gowanus and again building in towards the Brooklyn Bridge. And we'll go to the maps to let you know that it's still relatively calm at the Hudson River and East River crossings. Maybe about a 5-minute wait inbound at the Lincoln Tunnel. Holland Tunnel quiet. And of course, they still have the restrictions on the commercial vehicles on the inbound side. And again, the East River crossings looking good. George Washington Bridge, not bad. But if you're going for the West Side Highway southbound side, broken down vehicle now in the process of being cleared. That's right at 96th Street. Alternate side of the free parking rules in effect today citywide. Darlene and Rob, back to you.
All right, Trish, thank you. Well, just hours until the opening ceremony in Athens.
And already the first upset is in the books with the recently reinstated Iraqi soccer team knocking off a world power. Bruce Beck is live in Greece, and Joe Moreno is up with the forecast.
And we can watch the eye of Hurricane Charlie just now to the east of the Florida Keys, continues now to move to the north, straight toward the west coast of Florida. It will be affecting our own weather as well. Full details, it all comes up when we come back. Stay with us.
Hey, Mr. Opportunity here. Listen up, folks.
Center for the Performing Arts, a masterful partnership.
Welcome back. Traffic light on the Tappan Zee Bridge at this hour, 6:13 and 74 degrees. I'm going to check the weather now. Chris King was doing a live shot in Hoboken, had an umbrella up, some light rain, it looks like.
Light rain right now, but it's nothing compared to what's coming this afternoon and over the next couple of days. Let's check it out right now. We've got temperatures basically in the mid-70s across the area right now. It is, of course, very humid with light rain coming down. Let's check out the very latest satellite and radar to show you what's going on now. To the north of us in northern New England, heavier showers are coming down. A bit of a break right now with just some light rain over the city. But to the south, we see right in here the remnants of what was Tropical Storm Bonnie. It's just a depression, but this bulk of energy will come over us rather quickly by late morning into early afternoon. And it's at that point that 2 to 3, as much as 4 inches of rain will come down. We could even have damaging winds. The possibility is not out of the question for an isolated tornado because the air will be moving at different levels. Please keep this in mind. A bit of a break tonight. Then we have another storm by Saturday night into Sunday morning. And that's the remnants of Tropical Storm Charlie at that point. This flash flood watch remains in effect for the entire area. Let's go straight now to NextRad 4 and give you a bird's eye view of Charlie. This is it. That's the eye. There's Miami here. And you can see just now to the west of the Keys, continues to move to the north with a warning now in effect for the west coast of Florida. Any friends, any family, any plans to go down there very late now, as the winds in the center of this storm are estimated to be at 110 and it grows in strength. It will come all the way up the coast. And by Sunday morning, we could have winds here as high as 50 miles an hour with very, very heavy rain. So keep that in mind. Again, this is the very latest track, and it looks like this. And we can see the storm now moving to the north. So for today, for us, showers will commence later on this morning into the early afternoon from the remnants of Bonnie. And then it's Sunday when Charlie gets here. So our forecast high for today will rise. Let's go straight to the forecast on the 5-day. We'll show you today in the mid to the upper 70s. That's our 5-day forecast. 78 this afternoon. Showers, maybe heavy thunderstorms. Watch out for some ponding on the roadways and the suburbs. 3 to 5 inches of rain possible. A break tonight. It clears out tomorrow. Not a bad day, but it's Sunday, especially in the morning. Another 2 to 3 inches of rain. So by the time the whole thing is said and done, maybe 8 inches of rain.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. Thank you very much, Joe. All right, straight ahead this morning, important news for Long Island Railroad riders. It has to do with your commute during the convention.
And take a look, the torch has made it to Athens. We'll have a live report from the Olympics right after this. Stay tuned.
The struggle, the triumph, the glory. It only happens once every 4 years. And it all begins on one magical night, the opening ceremony of the Summer Olympic Games, where the world comes together. Moments we never forget. The whole world will be watching the opening ceremony tonight, 8/7 Central on NBC.
A change in security aboard Long Island Railroad trains during the Republican convention. Security plans no longer call for every train to be searched before entering Penn Station, and there won't be search dogs on rush hour trains. Instead, every Manhattan-bound train will have officers on board, and you'll see hundreds of police and search dogs once you arrive at Penn Station.
Couple problems out there on the roads this morning. 618, let's check in again with Trish.
Hi, Rob. Yeah, major problem working right now in New Jersey and Hunterdon County. We've got a nasty accident on 78. Currently, eastbound 78 is closed down right at exit 12 because of this accident. Jackknife tractor trailer involved, and now westbound they have a lane shut down as well. So this sounds like it's going to be out there for a while. We're hearing again that there will be an investigation to follow. So go through 173. That's the alternative route, and again, we'll continue to bring you updates on that. So let's go outside right now, Panasonic Skycam, and show you first off Long Island Expressway. Not looking so bad for a Friday start. Westbound traffic just beginning to build up slightly through Queens Boulevard. If you're headed for the Midtown Tunnel, we've got a live look at that for you next, and minor delays so far heading into the city at the Queens Midtown Tunnel. We'll go to the maps next and let you know for those of you that take the Belt Parkway, so far so good this morning. Westbound just beginning to pick up a little bit in through Kennedy Airport, but then you're in decent shape if you're headed eastbound side. Finally, not bad at the Hudson River crossings, about 5 minutes into the Lincoln Tunnel. Alternate side of the free parking rules in effect today citywide. Darlene and Rob, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Trish. Well, the long wait is finally over. Just a few hours from now, the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games.
Let's go live to Athens and the man, the myth, the legend, Bruce Beck.
Sound like a Greek god the way you're introducing me there, Rob. Well, the next time I see you guys, it will be a special day because the Olympic flame will be over my shoulder. Yes, we're just 7 hours away from the opening ceremony of the Games of the 28th Olympiad. But even though the Games haven't officially begun, we've already had a major upset. And it came in soccer. Just 6 months after being reinstated by the International Olympic Committee, War Torn Iraq's soccer team made a smashing debut in these summer games. They upset Portugal 4-2 in a gritty come-from-behind victory. The soccer team, which shares a practice field with grazing sheep, helped restore some athletic pride to their troubled nation. Next up for Iraq, a match with Costa Rica on Sunday. Call it the miracle on grass. Meanwhile, what a sight last night at the hallowed Acropolis. I wish I was there. The torch arrived for an official welcoming ceremony. 9-time Olympic gold medalist Carl Lewis was one of the torchbearers. The torch was treated like a dignitary by the Greek president and prime minister. A cauldron was lit at the Acropolis in a spectacular, breathtaking scene, so the Olympic flame is here now today. In 2000 at Sydney, everyone was talking about the Williams sisters. This year in Athens, everyone is talking about another sisters combination, but it doesn't take place anywhere near a tennis venue.
Meet 21-year-old Seda Jacobson, the #1 fencer in the world. Say hello to 18-year-old Emily Jacobson, the world junior champion. The two sisters are two of the favorites to grab the first Olympic medal ever by an American woman fencer.
I'm so lucky to have Emily here. I think that being here would have been that much harder without her, and I think maybe she feels the same way.
This is fencing's version of Williams versus Williams, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Seda and I, we have to compete against each other just like everybody else.
Brooklyn's Erin Smart, a competitor in the women's foil, knows how amazing it is when two siblings are gunning for an Olympic medal. After all, her brother Keith is shooting for the gold in men's saber.
Can you add perspective of these two girls going head to head? I mean, what is it going to be like?
I can't even imagine it. I'm glad that Keith and I can't compete against each other because I can't even imagine competing that strong against my brother.
It's possible, even probable, that the two Jacobson sisters will face each other in the quarterfinals of the women's saber.
There's good things and there's bad things. Yeah, one of us is going to lose, but one of us would win. We've fenced each other so many times, and we're training partners, so every day is like the gold medal Olympic bout.
Seda is a graduate of Yale. Emily will enroll at Columbia this fall. So we could have a situation here across the pond of two sisters doing battle and two Ivy Leaguers. Rob and Darlene, only in the Olympics.
Only in the Olympics. Bruce, now that it's finally here, are all the venues ready?
The venues are ready. Perhaps some roofs weren't put on that they wanted to put on. There's not grass nearby here at the Olympic Stadium that was supposed to be set up in the adjacent area to the stadium. But overall, things are moving smoothly. The games are ready to begin, and we're looking forward to the opening ceremony tonight.
Bruce, we'll talk to you real soon. Of course, the games can't begin until the big opening ceremony is complete. This morning on the Today Show, a preview of what's being planned for this evening's event. Always a bit of theater. That's coming up at 7 a.m. Don't forget, you can see the opening ceremony tonight at 8 o'clock right here on NBC4.
We have lots more ahead, including a live report from the Florida Keys on Hurricane Charlie.
Plus a deadly elevator accident in Times Square and a wet weekend forecast. Stay tuned.
We have some light rain coming down right now, but a lot more than that anticipated. Very heavy showers moving up the coast, as much as 3 to 5 inches of rain in the forecast for today and tonight. We'll have full details. It all comes up when we come back. Stay with us.
At Infinity's limited engagement sales event, the car of your dreams is waiting. Like the Infinity G35 sedan, one of Car and Driver's 10 best for the second year in a row. See your Infinity dealer for attractive lease and APR finance rates. But don't wait too long. Infinity's limited engagement sales event ends soon. For a limited time, lease a G35 sedan for $349 a month.
Looking for a hotel that the kids will enjoy too? Send in the experts. When you use Hotels.com, it's like sending in a team of experts to check out everything you need to know about hotels. So log on or call our certified hotel agents 24/7 to help you find the perfect hotel at the perfect price. Like Orlando from just $45.95. Hotels.com. Best prices, best places, guaranteed.
$600 million in tax dollars for a football stadium? New Yorkers speak out.
There is nothing bad into building a stadium. It's just that it shouldn't be done with public money.
That money can be invested towards school and education.
A lot of these hospitals are in bad shape, the senior facilities, the child care facilities.
Well, when we don't have $6 million to keep open firehouses, to go for $600 million for a stadium, please, come on, it's a no-brainer.
Hey, Mr. Opportunity here. Listen up, folks. Now that is a beautiful Accord LX, and Honda is having a clearance. We're talking serious deals here, people. Honda plus clearance. Come on. You do the math. Seems like a no-brainer to me, but I'm just two-dimensional. I mean, it's your money. I'm just trying to save you some of it. The 2004 Honda clearance. Hey, you snooze, you're going to lose. I'm Mr. Opportunity, and I'm knocking.
Alexander Hamilton Bridge at this hour. 626, 74 degrees out there. It's going to be a wet one, so bring your umbrella. A snapped cable is reportedly being blamed for a deadly elevator accident in Times Square. An elevator operator was killed when a freight elevator at 8th Avenue and West 41st Street suddenly shot up to the roof. At the same time, another elevator in the building with 2 people on board dropped to the ground floor. It's not known exactly how far that elevator fell. Neither of those 2 passengers was hurt. The reputed mobster who fired 2 shots inside Rayo's celebrated Italian restaurant in East Harlem will serve 15 years in prison. Louis Barone of the Bronx was sentenced Thursday for the shooting death of another reputed crime family associate, Albert Cicchelli of Yonkers.
In California, Scott Peterson's double murder trial resumes Monday with more recorded phone calls with his former mistress. On Thursday, jurors heard Amber Fry's conversation where she tried to coax Peterson into admitting that he killed his pregnant wife, Lacey. But Peterson breaks into tears, saying, quote, "I'm not an evil person. I would never hurt anyone." Also Monday, Michael Jackson's expected in a California courtroom to watch some unusual testimony. The Santa Barbara DA will be questioned about surveillance he personally conducted involving Jackson's child molestation case. Jackson's lawyer is trying to suppress some of the evidence gathered, and sources say Sister Janet Jackson will also be there.
627, and if you're just getting started today, we'll have team coverage up next of the resignation of Governor McGreevey.
What happened and why on an amazing day in New Jersey politics, and what's going to happen next? We're live in Trenton.
And people in New Jersey are stunned by Jim McGreevey's bombshell revelation. I'm Christopher King. I'll tell you what they're saying.
And the latest on Charlie, already threatening Florida. This storm could really mess up our weekend. We'll have the forecast and much more when we come back.
Skycam on the web, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer on WNBC.com.
Today, starting at 5.
I am a gay American.
Governor McGreevey announces his resignation. What does it mean for the people of New Jersey? Plus, let the games begin. It's the Olympics live from Athens, Greece. Get a sneak peek of the opening ceremonies with News Channel 4's Jane Hansen and Len Berman, starting at 5.
Now on DVD.
I've killed a hell of a lot of people to get to this point.
The bride is back and has taken a solemn vow.
I am gonna kill Bill.
Only today on DVD.
Looks like someone got in late last night.
I tried to call, but I couldn't get through. It won't happen again. No, it won't.
Staying in touch is easy with GSM America from AT&T Wireless. With double the coverage and improved signal strength, it's our best network ever. Sign up now on a qualified plan and add extra lines for $9.99 each.
Don't forget to pick up your brother after practice. Call me if you're gonna be late. That's right. You can't.
GSM America from AT&T Wireless. How many bars do you have?
New Yorkers, take your mark. Bank of America and NYC 2012 invites you to the Bank of America Olympic Festival in Rockefeller Center. Watch all the action and feel the emotion of the 2004 Games from Athens. It's the Bank of America Olympic Festival in the heart of Manhattan.
I am a gay American. Shamefully, I engaged in an adult consensual affair with another man. I have decided the right course of action is to resign. Let me be clear.
What's behind the shocking resignation of Governor Jim McGreevey? We have team coverage.
From Florida to New York, bracing for Hurricane Charlie.
And the fighting eases in Najaf, but not before a radical cleric was wounded. Hey, good morning, 6:30 on a Friday morning, 74 degrees out there. Welcome to Today in New York. It's a busy Friday morning. I'm Rob Morrison.
Yes, it is. I'm Darlene Rodriguez. We'll get to all of our top stories in just a moment. First, though, we're talking about this weather. It's been crazy, and it's going to get
even crazier,
yeah.
especially by later on this morning and early this afternoon. Very heavy rain, and then it should end by tonight. And then Saturday night and Sunday, another shot of heavy rain. Right now, light rain's coming down in the city. It's 74 degrees. Let's go straight out and show you what's going on with the radar. Just very light scattered showers right now. Northwest New Jersey getting some heavier showers, but the bulk of the rain is still to the south of us. This is what you can expect today. Thunderstorms, possibly heavy by early this afternoon, damaging wind, flooding rain possible, 2 to 3, as much as 5 inches of rain in some sections. And then the second storm, Charlie, by Saturday night into Sunday, flash flood watch in effect like this for today. So the showers will begin early this afternoon and then end by tonight, and then more rain over the weekend. I'll have full details on Hurricane Charlie coming up in a few minutes. Take the umbrella and watch us right here on News Channel 4. We'll update you throughout the day.
Okay, thank you very much, Joe.
All right.
All right, we are out of the closet and soon to be out of office. New Jersey Governor Jim McGreevey's shocking announcement will have wide implications. We have team coverage now. Christopher King with reaction from New Jersey voters. But we begin in Trenton, where Tim Minton has been covering the story. Tim, what do we expect today?
State sources say that the governor is expecting a lawsuit will be filed, and they just don't know exactly what the details of the allegations will be that it contains, except that they are anticipating it will talk about sexual harassment. They say that the governor had been working on the announcement he made yesterday for several days since he found out some hints of what was coming late last weekend, and that he continued to work on the speech until just minutes before he stepped in front of the cameras. The first to find out for sure were staff and family allowed past troopers barring executive chamber doors. Minutes later, just past 4 p.m., the governor revealed his secrets one by one to the world.
My truth is that I am a gay American, and I am blessed to live in the greatest nation with a tradition of civil liberties, the greatest tradition of civil liberties in the world.
It was stunning political drama, and as aides watched, it would quickly be topped. With Dina Matos McGreevey by his side, James McGreevey acknowledged his transgressions against her.
I am also here today because shamefully, I engaged in an adult consensual affair with another man.
Critical to the revelations, but unseen publicly, is one-time advisor Golan Sipel. State sources say it's Sipel's allegations of sexual harassment, expected to be detailed in a lawsuit that forced the governor to act.
Given the circumstances surrounding the affair and its likely impact upon my family and my ability to govern, I have decided the right course of action is to resign.
State Senate President Dick Cody, the Democrat who's next in line to replace the Democrat who's leaving, issued a statement that says, "My heart goes out to Jim McGreevey and his family during this difficult personal time." The governor's speech yesterday may certainly have put some of the hardship behind him. He came out, he revealed himself a lot of what was going on, and he said that he is resigning. However, depending on what is in that lawsuit, the controversy over this whole affair could be just beginning. We're live in Trenton. Tim Minton, News Channel 4.
Hoboken now, and Christopher King. New Jersey voters, of course, shocked by this announcement. Christopher.
Good morning, Rob. That's right. Saddened and surprised. Those are just some of the reactions here in Hoboken to Jim McGreevey's stunning announcement.
Well, I don't think he should have to, but I think it's unfortunate.
I'm kind of sad that he did. I don't know enough about the story yet. I'd like to see what happened with the other guy before I make a final decision.
Do you think it was the right thing to do?
At this point, I don't know. I'd still like to see what happened with the other guy, but I feel kind of sad that he did step down.
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. I can't believe it. I'm just shocked by the whole thing. I'm just bought a paper so I could read more about it.
Was it the right thing to do?
I don't know if it was the right thing to do. Whether he's gay or not, I don't think it really affects his performance as governor. But, in the whole midst of the sexual lawsuit, may have been.
Just totally shocked. Had no idea I thought he was married. I had no idea.
Was it the right thing to do?
I think so. I think you have to live your truth, and it's probably more miserable not saying anything about it.
Some applaud McGreevey's honesty. Others say he should step down. We are live in Hoboken. Christopher King, today in New York.
Christopher, thank you very much. News Channel 4's Brian Thompson was first to break this story of the McGreevey resignation, and he joins us by phone right now. He was actually out of town, taking some time off when he got the tip, and needless to say, Brian's excellent reporting. What can you tell us about Golan Sapel and the contents of this civil lawsuit we expect to be filed today?
Well, as far as Golan, thank you, Rob. As far as Golan Sapel is concerned, he's an Israeli national who served in the Navy over there and mysteriously ended up in New Jersey because he knew some people, and all of a sudden he was named Homeland Security Advisor to Governor McGreevey by Governor McGreevey in the aftermath of 9/11, just not even 3 years ago now. The amazing thing was, because he was an Israeli national, he could not pass an FBI background check so that he could not be briefed as the state's Homeland Security Advisor. He could not be briefed by federal officials about any threats to New Jersey, which has raised a lot of questions, by the way, in Republican minds as to what Governor McGreevey was doing back then and why he should even continue serving as governor for the next 3 months if he put a homosexual lover as the state's top anti-terrorism advisor. With that being said, as soon as the critics found out that he couldn't pass this FBI background test, then he ended up working in the public affairs office for the governor, in which case he was a sort of a liaison to the Jewish community, and he was being paid $100,000 a year. Again, a guy with no apparent qualifications, in New Jersey anyway, no particular knowledge of people in New Jersey, but nonetheless he was more like a shooting star, I guess, across the firmament in the state. And as far as the lawsuit itself, of course, we're all waiting, but the word that we have heard is that his lawyer approached the administration and said, look, we won't file this lawsuit if you pay us $5 million. That apparently happened several days ago. What is exactly in the lawsuit, the anticipated lawsuit, remains to be seen, but is certainly believed to be salacious at best, including charges of forced sex against Golan. So whether or not that holds up when we see the lawsuit, we'll just have to wait and see, Rob.
And we should find out later on today. New Jersey reporter Brian Thompson breaking this story yesterday while he was out of town. Again, Brian, thanks so much.
Thank you.
And stay tuned for continuing coverage of the McGreevey resignation. Coming up in just a few minutes, Darlene will speak with a political analyst live in our studio.
Switching gears now to Florida. For the state, it is double trouble. Tropical storm Bonnie has come and gone, but now it is Hurricane Charlie. The storm is skirting the Keys and making a beeline for the Gulf Coast. NBC's Martin Savage is live in Key West. Martin, what are conditions like right now?
Well, good morning to you, Darlene. Weather conditions right now,
not too bad at all. In fact, it's going to remain to be seen just how good a day it will be here in Key West, Florida. If Hurricane Charlie stays off to the west, as it appears it may be doing, then that'll be very good news for the folks down here in Key West. Daylight will just begin creeping into this area right about now. The storm's effects began being felt around 10:30 last night. That was where you saw a lot of lightning off to the south. Not a lot of thunder. Then came the winds, and then has come occasionally the rain. These are the feeder bands that come in. The biggest concern, though, not so much about the winds and not too much about the rain. It's the storm surge. It was projected that possibly it could be as much as 10 feet. And in this particular area, which a lot of it is either at or very near sea level, that could be problematic. But right now that hasn't materialized. If it doesn't match up with a high tide, all the better for the people here in Key West. They've been preparing. The last bus out, by the way, last night, if you wanted to leave, was around 8 o'clock at night. Darlene and Rob?
Well, Martin, now we've heard about the mandatory evacuation orders. What about the areas outside the mandatory evacuation? Are people kind of running out? Are they staying put? What are they doing?
Well, the people have been concerned, especially in the last day or so, as it was learned that Hurricane Charlie was beginning to intensify. Anytime you start talking about a storm that's a Category 2 or that moves into perhaps being a Category 3, very serious down here because it can cut off all methods of escape. And as we say, everybody is so close to sea level that they really worry about the storm surging over the island here. So people have been leaving, and especially up in the Tampa Bay area, they've been evacuating from low-lying areas. A massive evacuation up there.
NBC's Martin Savage live in Key West. Martin, thank you and stay safe. And of course, stay tuned for the Today Show for complete live coverage of Hurricane Charlie.
We're going to get an update now on the morning commute and see how things are going around here, Trish.
Charlene, we still have this accident working. Hunterdon County 78 eastbound remains closed at exit 12 because of this jackknife tractor trailer. Westbound also with lane closures because of this collision. 173, the alternate route. We'll take you outside right now, Panasonic Skycam, and show you George Washington Bridge. A little slow inbound upper level. If you're heading for the bridge, lower level, definitely the way to go. And once you cross the span onto the Cross Bronx Expressway, we've got a live look at the Hamilton Bridge. And so far, really not doing too badly east and westbound side off of the George Washington Bridge. Check out the Lincoln Tunnel now and beginning to build up for Friday morning. This is about a 5-10 minute backup maximum. Finally, in Westchester County, a couple of mentions here. Southbound side of the Hutchinson River Parkway, delays getting into East Chester at Mill Road. There is an accident. And also in Greenburgh, northbound side of the Springbrook Parkway at 287. You've got another crash being cleared. Alternate side of the street parking rules in effect today citywide. So far, mass transit looks good. Darlene and Rob, back to you guys.
All right, Trish, thank you. And coming up next, more insight into the McGreevey resignation.
We'll talk live with a political analyst who's known the New Jersey governor for the past 2 decades. We'll get his perspective right after this.
I get a lot of satisfaction out of doing this. The healthcare system is so complicated these days. How to navigate the system is really tough to do. The fact that they can come to me and ask for help, I think tells me that they trust me. It's a responsibility I take really seriously. The best part of my job is at the end of the day, I can go home feeling good about what I've done.
Our doctor is your doctor. Dr. Max Gomez, only on News Channel 4.
On August 20th.
Is there someone inside you?
Yes.
Go back before the story you know.
Father Merrin.
How do you know my name? And witness.
He will seek to poison your mind.
A new chapter of evil.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Unclean spirit, I cast you out!
Exorcist, The Beginning. Rated R. Starts August 20th.
Okay, here are the facts. You're looking at Mr. Opportunity. I'm looking at a beautiful Civic. And lucky break for you, Honda is having a clearance. Now listen, there's a chance for big savings here, people. So say it with me. Right place, right time, right now. The 2004 Honda clearance. Hey, you wait. You're going to be late. Now you can lease a new Civic Value Package for $159 a month for 36 months at where? Your Honda dealer. Good. I'm Mr. Opportunity, and I'm knocking.
Scissors, backpack, erasers, pencils. Want it? Need it? Got it. Write it. Play it. Catch it. Got it. Want it? Need it? Rule it. Want it? Need it? Got it? Good.
Our top story this morning, the stunning news out of Trenton. Governor Jim McGreevy's resignation after admitting to a gay affair with another man. And of course, there's a lot more to the story, and we're going to get some perspective now from Steve Adubato. He's a broadcaster and author, also a former state lawmaker in New Jersey, and he's known Jim McGreevy for 2 decades. Steve, good morning.
Good to be here.
Now, obviously, people around the tri-state, many people are stunned, but these rumors have been circulating for a while, haven't they?
It's the worst kept secret in New Jersey politics and the political scene. There's been talk about Jim McGreevy being gay for a long time. But for those of us who are interested in politics and government and policy, my attitude was I don't really care. I couldn't care less what Jim McGreevy's or his sexual orientation really is. But this is about that, but it's about something larger. This is about the fact that the governor, who is a decent public servant, who spent his whole life wanting to be governor, getting himself into a situation where someone else could blackmail him, where someone else had information about him, and the only thing the governor opted to do was to put him in certain public positions he clearly wasn't qualified to be in, and then got him jobs in the private sector through some of his friends. Once you start down that path, nothing good can happen. It's about blackmail. It's about being put in a vulnerable position. The governorship was in a vulnerable position. The governor gets credit for cutting it off yesterday because he could have dragged it on like Bill Clinton did a few years back. But it maybe didn't have to come to this if the governor had stepped up earlier and said, hey, look, I'm willing to do this and have the courage to say I'm gay. I have this relationship. Now you say what you want to say, but he didn't do that.
I mean, and like you said, it's not necessarily just about the homosexuality or the cheating, but it's a part of it. But isn't it more about the whole climate of dishonesty swirling his administration? I mean, beginning with the political corruption scandals. They were all there.
See, that's the thing. In politics, it's never one instance. It's when you pile these things on together. So the lurid sexual details that I assure you will come out. This story is a long way from being finished. What's going to happen is as these stories come out, and this guy potentially says, as Golan Sapel says, look, I wasn't really qualified for this job, but what happened was the governor put me in this position as long as I did certain things. Forget it at that point.
Right.
Then the question becomes, can the governor survive as long as he wants to November 15th? I doubt it.
Now, you say that Jim McGreevy was a great public servant, but what many people would be questioning is Golan Sapel, for example. This is a man who was an Israeli poet who had a background in public relations. And you put this man in an office where he's advisor to the State Office of Homeland Security. How can you be a good public servant and do something like that?
Insane. And listen, I'm not going to minimize it in saying, listen, if you have a relationship with someone, you can put them in a position where it really doesn't matter very much because you shouldn't be doing that with taxpayer money anyway. But you compound the problem when you put him in the most sensitive position immediately after 9/11. What it did was it drew all this attention around who is Golan Sapel, why should he have this job, and what's his relationship with the governor. So it's less about who the governor chooses to spend his private time with. He has to work that out with he and his wife.
Right.
It's what his judgment is about, and that's, for me, the Achilles heel here.
Before we go, have you been able to speak to him?
No, but I want to say this. I've known Jim McGreevy for 20 years. I know how much he has wanted to be governor and serve as governor on some level. And I don't care how you feel about what he did. You have to feel for someone who's 47 years of age, who finally stands there with his wife, his father, who's a drill sergeant in the Marines, his mother there. And to do this took a lot of courage because it could have been a lot worse if he dragged this thing on.
Steve Adubato, thank you very much for coming on this morning.
Thank you.
And we'll have a lot more on this story throughout the morning. Rob, let's go over to you.
Darlene, thank you so much. We know Hurricane Charlie's bearing down on Florida right now. Eventually, we're going to have to deal with Charlie.
We're going to have to deal with Charlie, but also the remnants of Bonnie. And let's check out the radar right now and show you that right now we do have some light rain, 74 degrees, and that radar is lighting up, especially in northwestern New Jersey and Sussex County and Morris County as well. Some moderate showers are coming down right now, but that's not the problem. Problem is still to the south, and it's a bulk of rain that's over the Carolinas. That's why we have this flash flood watch in effect until this evening. As much as 3 to 5 inches of rain from this particular smaller system could fall this afternoon. It will clear up tonight. So this is the forecast, 78 periods of rain, heavy thunderstorms. We could have some damaging wind this afternoon. The possibility of an isolated tornado is not out of the question. Partly cloudy, though, tonight. Refreshing breeze, and then it changes all over again Saturday night into Sunday. That's when Charlie will move up the coast and give us the possibility of more heavy rain and very strong wind. We'll update you on that as it develops.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. Coming up next, fighting has eased in Najaf. We'll go live to Baghdad right after this, so stay tuned.
You've been waiting all year for this moment to arrive. The one and only clearance at your Tri-State Lincoln Mercury dealer. Get model year-end savings on every Lincoln and Mercury. From our award-winning SUVs to the legendary Town Car and the spacious Grand Marquis. Get 0% APR for 60 months or up to $6,000 cash back on select Lincoln and Mercury vehicles. See your Tri-State Lincoln Mercury dealer now for best selection.
Come here, boy. Come, boy, come. Fetch. Roll over.
Tonight, the Olympic opening ceremony. And she's shattering records right and left. Swimmer Jenny Thompson talks to Tom Brokaw. NBC 90 News tonight.
Just imagine what you can do with the time you save by calling Empire today for your new carpet. With just one call, we'll bring a great selection of carpet to choose from. There's no runaround and no wait, because we install next day. Right now, you'll save 50%, plus no payments till 2006. And get a free gift. Call Empire today. In no time, you'll have new carpet and more time for whatever.
800-588-2300
Today.
Sumptuous leather and rich wood trim tastefully adorn the interior of the Land Rover Discovery, creating a driving experience that is the very definition of luxury. Of course, should the occasion arise, it's not bad off-road either. Begin your adventure today. The 2004 Discovery, nicely equipped at $369 a month.
In Iraq, fighting has eased in Najaf, the holy city, the site of intense violence over the past couple of days. And there's word this morning that radical cleric Muqtada al-Sadr has been wounded. We get a live update now from NBC's Preston Mendenhall live in Baghdad. Good afternoon to you, Preston.
And good morning there, Rob. Well, there are conflicting reports on the health of Muqtada al-Sadr. His spokesman said he was wounded and is now in okay condition, but the Iraqi government says he was not wounded and they are now negotiating a truce with him. Now, al-Sadr is believed to be holed up in a shrine in the holy city of Najaf in the city center, surrounded by supporters. But at the same time, they are all surrounded by the U.S. military and Iraqi forces who have cut off access to the Imam Ali shrine. They say they have no plans to attack that shrine or raid it anytime soon. Now, the U.S. military and administration officials say that the siege will continue until the militia is destroyed, until al-Sadr either surrenders or he is killed. Now, meantime, we have reports of a British journalist being taken hostage in the southern city of Basra. And in a videotape released by militants, they show the man and say that he will be killed if the U.S. does not pull back its forces from Najaf. And in other news, last night we had intense gunfire in Baghdad, but it was celebratory gunfire. That's because the Iraqi soccer team was victorious in its first match in the Olympic Games, 4-2 over Portugal, an upset. People here are thrilled. Rob, back to you.
Preston, regarding Najaf, very quickly, we've seen this before where the U.S. military goes on the offensive very quickly and then fall back into this defensive posture. Are you sensing any frustration among military officials there over that?
Well, they seem to be pretty decisive this time around. They've pretty much formed a noose around this sacred compound, the Imam Ali Shrine. And they would certainly say they would try and hold that until there is some sort of negotiation or surrender by the militia. But in the past, 2 months ago, there was a truce that held for 2 months, but then it quickly fell apart. And we do understand now that the militia may have used that truce, those 2 months with no fighting, to stockpile more arms in the city. So we treat everything with a grain of salt. Rob?
NBC's Preston Mendenhall live in Baghdad. Thank you very much.
It's 6:52. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the weekend forecast and the traffic whip around in just a minute.
Okay, here are the facts. You're looking at Mr. Opportunity. I'm looking at a beautiful Civic. And lucky break for you, Honda is having a clearance. Now listen, there's a chance for big savings here, people. So say it with me. Right place, right time, right now. The 2004 Honda clearance. Hey, you wait. You're going to be late. Now you can lease a new Civic Value Package for $159 a month for 36 months at where? Your Honda dealer. Good. I'm Mr. Opportunity, and I'm knocking.
Being cool means
New cars and
the prices, the possibilities. Marshall's.
closed captioning provided by the new Chevrolets. 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months.
And welcome back. Friday morning, 6:53. A change in security aboard Long Island Railroad trains during the Republican convention. Security plans no longer call for every train to be searched before entering Penn Station, and there won't be search dogs on rush hour trains. Instead, every Manhattan-bound train will have officers aboard. You'll see hundreds of police and search dogs once you arrive at Penn Station.
It is time for the traffic whip around. Let's go to Trish. Hey there.
Hey guys, yeah, and best of all, it's the Friday whip around, and we'll take you outside right now. Panasonic Skycam, and start you off in Queens. Looking live right now, the Grand Central Parkway westbound. Not bad, just some slow exiting traffic in through Steinway Street. If you're going with the Long Island Expressway westbound, is beginning to crowd up, getting in through Queens Boulevard. And we've got a live look at the Midtown Tunnel for you if that's where you're headed through the fog. About a 5 to 10 minute backup now inbound at the Midtown Tunnel. Check out the Brooklyn Queens Expressway northbound. Delays, of course, north of Atlantic Avenue in towards the Brooklyn Bridge. We've got a live shot of the Brooklyn Bridge coming up and looks good crossing the span. In fact, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Williamsburg bridges so far in pretty decent shape for you. George Washington Bridge check still slow on the inbound upper level. If you can use the lower level, definitely do that. It's better for you. And then expect some slowdowns along the West Side Highway this morning. Tappan Zee Bridge still in decent shape, though, crossing the span out of Rockland in through Westchester County. Finally, in New Jersey, Hunterdon County, 78 eastbound remains closed at exit 12 with the jackknife tractor trailer. Westbound also with lane closures. As a result, go with Route 173. An alternate side of the street parking rules in effect today citywide. Darlene and Rob, back to you guys.
Trish, have a great weekend.
You too.
Some sports headlines now. The Mets host Arizona tonight. The Yankees move on to Seattle. The Bombers wrapped up a 3-game trip to Texas with a 5-1 win. Miguel Cairo led the charge with this grand slam. At Shea, a solid start by Victor Zambrano helped lead the Amazons over Houston 2-1, spoiling Andy Pettit's return to the Big Apple in an Astros uniform.
The opening ceremony for the Olympic Games will begin tonight in Athens. The Olympic flame reached the top of the Acropolis last night in preparation for the big event. Olympic officials say the ceremony will delight audiences around the world and offer some surprises, too. The Today Show will have a preview of what's in store, and that's coming up in just a few minutes. And don't forget, you can watch the opening ceremonies right here on NBC4 at 8 p.m.
Top stories now. They're starting to feel strong winds down in Tampa. Hurricane Charlie bearing down on Florida's Gulf Coast. About 1 million people have been ordered to evacuate. And guess what? That storm system is headed our way later on this weekend. The fighting has been scaled back in Iraq's holy city, Najaf, where we're hearing word that radical cleric Muqtada al-Sadr may have been wounded in fighting with U.S. and Iraqi forces. Talks now are underway regarding a possible truce.
Now to the big story this morning, the resignation of New Jersey Governor Jim McGreevey. Tim Minton is in Trenton now with more. Tim.
Darlene, revelations past and perhaps revelations coming up today in a lawsuit expected to be filed by an accuser who may say that the New Jersey governor is guilty of sexual harassment, and if so, that could make it just the end of the beginning for the governor, with more controversy ahead. And today's New Jersey newspaper, at least here in Trenton, saying he should resign now, not wait the 3 months that he has said he intends to wait before leaving office. That's the latest from Trenton this morning.
All right, Tim, thanks for all your coverage in Trenton today. We appreciate that. And forget about Charlie. We have to deal with Bonnie first.
Yeah, Bonnie's actually fizzling out, but a lot of times when these storms do that, they just open up and let the skies open and the rain come down, and that's going to happen this afternoon. 74 right now. Let's check out the current radar right now, and it's already raining hard in parts of northwestern New Jersey, and you can see it right now lighting up over Morris County right now. These are not severe thunderstorms, but there is a line already. We want to point that out to you. Now, with Bonnie, it's still to the south of us. We have a bit of a dry slot in here. So rush hour, after these showers move away, things should dry out a little bit. But we do have a flood watch in effect until tonight, and this is what you can expect. Where you see the darker green shaded area, that's where the heavier rain will be. And notice now that we're thinking it's Nassau and Suffolk County on Long Island because we think the remnants of Bonnie will hug the coast and then skirt off the coast. So the inland areas may get as much as an inch of rain, but the most rain out of this particular system, again, will be on Long Island. That's where the flood watch is in effect. Actually, it's in the entire area. And now we want to show you Hurricane Charlie because we have another headache, and that's going to be Saturday night to Sunday when this system comes all the way up the coast just to the west of New York City by late Saturday night and Sunday. And that's the second system that will dump another 3 to 5 inches of rain over us right now. The warnings continue in effect, as we've been telling you all morning long, for the Florida coast from Tampa to the north, and they could be looking for a Category 3 hit with winds of about 120 miles an hour for them. So periods of rain for us beginning late this morning, early this afternoon, 78 degrees. Then tonight, actually the rain ends by about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and then it's on the 5-day forecast that we do show you the next system moving up the coast. And when it does, it will actually happen by Saturday night into Sunday. On Saturday, look for the high temperature about 81 degrees. It's very late at night into early Sunday morning. The rain could be very heavy. And on Sunday morning, we could have winds here that could gust to between 40 and 50 miles an hour. We may be under, at that point, a tropical storm warning. In any case, we're going to get torrential rains. And then Monday, Tuesday, it clears out. So to recap, very heavy rain today. Then it stops tonight, and then it comes back into the picture by Sunday. So it's a hit of 2 storms, Bonnie and Charlie. Charlie's worse.
All right. Thank you very much, Joe. We'll get through it.
We'll get through it.
All right. Have a great weekend. Coming up Monday on Today in New York, Team USA at the Summer Games. We'll have live reports, of course, and results from Athens.
And then the hottest trends in footwear. There's a look at some of them. Catherine Eisman will have the must-have shoes of the season. That's on Monday, 5 to 7 a.m.
Now we know what we'll have to go shopping for.
Yep, must have.
That's right. Thank you so much for being with us on this busy Friday morning. The Today Show is next with Katie and Matt live in Athens.
And that's what's happening on a Friday today in New York. Have a great weekend, everybody.